Well, good morning and welcome into the Real Monica Adams Show. I'm your host, Monica Adams, and just be careful if you're in our immediate St. Louis, Missouri, Southern Illinois area. A lot of fog out there this morning. We're talking about this continued pattern of rain, and is it going to be chilly again? It is chilly when you walk out this morning, so just a heads up on that. I'm going to give you the news you can use. We'll give you weather. We'll give you sports. Are you watching the World Series, by the way? Did you watch Monday Night Football? How about the Blues game? We're going to get into all of that, and then it's all about your mind today. You know, we just had our Faith in the Fields retreat, and I connected that whole triangle of life for everyone that was there, how important it is to take care of your mind, your emotions, or your soul and your spirit, and then the physical side of your body. You put all those together and you help balance them all, and you're walking around how you would want to be on a daily basis, right? Well, today it's about the mind. And to me, that is one of the most important parts of that balance and how it plays tricks on you. I talk to my clients a lot and say, yes, it can be your best friend or your worst enemy. We're going to talk with Lauren Ashleigh Whitaker. She goes by LA with Sea Change Health and Wellness. And we're going to talk about many things, including you men. Okay. So sometimes the women have more of the higher percentage of the show. Today, it's going to be even. We're going to talk about how all of us deal with how this mind plays tricks on us and tells us that we're not enough and we don't deserve this. But men, I really want to help heal and get into why do we think men don't talk about their feelings. So we've got a wonderful hour for you, and I love how interactive you all are. So let's talk, okay? Let's be honest and raw and real. All right, before we get into all of that, let's get into the weather forecast. As I mentioned, there is some fog out there, so be careful this morning. Here's how it looks for you. We do have a chance of rain later this afternoon and into the nighttime hours. 59 for the high, 49, and it's going to be breezy tonight. We get into tomorrow, and those showers will end in the afternoon. 54, so a little chillier tomorrow. Thursday, 57, looks like no rain, and we get into Halloween, as we mentioned yesterday. Partly sunny skies. It is going to be a low of 41, so you might need to bundle up those kiddos. Saturday, 54, and by the way, I always love this time of the year. Not only do I love fall for multiple reasons, color changing, fall football, right? Many things, but we get an hour back. Yes, so set those clocks back Saturday into Sunday. 59 for the high on Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we get into the lower 60s, but look at that. From Saturday night and next Tuesday night, the lows are 39 degrees. So bundle up. Yes, that unfortunately means very cold weather is on its way as we flip the calendar to November next week. So again, that is the weather forecast. We'll be joined by Beckett Moore coming up on Friday as he gives us the official Halloween forecast and see if it changes at all. All right, starting off in news, we are staying in that weather theme, just like we were yesterday. I was really glued to the television following Hurricane Melissa. We mentioned yesterday that many were hunkering down and again bracing for this. A St. Louis woman is also going to share her experience about that in just a second. But first, it's 175 mile per hour winds expected to be the strongest ever to hit the island again in Jamaica. It strengthened into that overnight. According to the National Hurricane Center, the storm with those maximum sustained winds is expected to make landfall today as a Category 4 or a Category 5 hurricane, which would be the strongest on record. We're talking about catastrophic, life-threatening winds, flooding, storm surges that are likely to be destructive, especially in the mountains. And it begins into this evening, leading to extensive infrastructural damage, long-lasting power and communication outages, isolated communities. Of course, many are hoping that it somehow shifts its pattern and it is not as devastating as is predicted at this point. There is a woman that is a St. Louis beautician. She and her family traveled to Montego Bay to celebrate her sister's birthday, her first trip outside the United States. She was hoping was going to go perfect. And she said, I quote, when we first got here, everything was pretty much going according to plan. Thursday, Friday, we definitely had a ball. Came Saturday, things did slightly start changing. Airports closed, their flights were canceled. And now, like many tourists, she and her family are gearing up for this massive Category Category 5 hurricane, again, set to make landfall today. So we will be following it this afternoon. I will be posting something for you on social media. Again, as we get more information, then of course we'll be following up and giving you much more on that tomorrow. But let's say prayers for all. Again, Jamaica, we talked about Cuba. We also were talking about the Bahamas. So stay close to that if you know anybody that's in that area that has been obviously traveling. If they were expecting to go today, that's not going to happen since the airports are closed down. In other news, a U.S. Navy fighter jet and a helicopter crashed into the South China Sea within 30 minutes of each other. The 3 crew members of the Seahawk helicopter were rescued, and the 2 aviators in the Super Hornet were ejected and recovered safely. All 5 are safe and in stable condition. That is the good news. The cause of the 2 crashes right now under investigation. Well, we're seeing job cuts, this time with Amazon. 14,000 jobs, corporate jobs at that, as spending on artificial intelligence accelerates. See, now remember a show that I did about a year and a half ago, and this was my fear about AI. In June, the CEO, who has aggressively sought to cut the costs since becoming the CEO in 2021, said that he anticipated generative AI would reduce their corporate workforce in the next few years. And at that time, the Amazon area had more than 1,000 generative AI services and applications in progress or even built, but that figure was a small fraction of what they planned to build. They encourage employees to get on board with the company's AI plans, and then a month later, Amazon announced multi-billion-dollar investments to expand cloud infrastructure and advance their innovation in North Carolina, in Pennsylvania, in Australia. And today, the online giant said it was reducing bureaucracy. Teams and individuals impacted the job cuts will be notified today. So some of them might be showing up to work this morning and not even know that today might be their last day. So 14,000 jobs with Amazon. All right, continuing the news, here's some good news, and it will bring jobs to our area. An outdoor retailer to open up in Kirkwood. In fact, the discount chain plans to open on South Kirkwood Road November 22nd. Sierra is the retailer, and that will be located just north of I-44 in the same shopping complex as Hobby Lobby. You know where that is, in Aldi. They sell outdoor equipment, apparel, and home goods at discounted prices. I think that's going to go over really, really well. So excited to have them with us. All right, in some sports news. So if you're watching hockey right now, St. Louis Blues playing the Pittsburgh Penguins, I told you that they had some tough opponents, from the Penguins to the Red Wings, which is tonight in St. Louis, but they were on the road. They lost to Pittsburgh 6-3. In fact, Sidney Crosby had a goal and 2 assists to become the 9th player in NHL history with 1,700 points, and the Penguins beating our Blues. Crosby, by the way, who accomplished the feat in the 4th fewest games, is the 4th player in NHL history to reach the mark with one team. He is absolutely an incredible athlete. So now the Blues are licking their wounds. The puck will drop tonight in St. Louis against the Red Wings at 7:15. Okay, I was asking. I have not. And, I think I used to be a big baseball fan. I think when the Cardinals were doing well, and hopefully that'll happen again. But I haven't watched a World Series in a long, long time. Let me know. I like to know my audience. Are you watching? So if you haven't been, here's the latest for you. A World Series where Freddie Freeman hit a walk-off home run to end. Are you ready for this? If you did watch, you were up for a long time. An 18-inning game. It was epic. Tied for the longest game in Fall Classic history. Yeah, so after 18 innings, 19 pitchers, 609 pitches, and some of the wildest plays in World Series history, the Dodgers have a 2-1 lead in the 2025 Fall Classic. I don't know that I would have stayed up. Those are diehards, staying up to watch 18 innings. Well, maybe you didn't watch baseball. Instead, maybe you watched football. And our Kansas City Chiefs, right? We like to adopt them since we lost our own. So what happened in the game? Well, the Commanders versus the Chiefs. Kansas City had a little second half trouble with Washington and its backup quarterback in a 28-7 victory at Arrowhead. Again, when a team has a breakout season, especially with a historic rookie star, the assumption is the trajectory will remain upward for years, right? Washington is 3-5, matching their loss total from last season. The Commanders fought hard for a half against the Chiefs, but in the second half, it was clear the two teams weren't on the same plane. Washington didn't have Daniels, who was out with a hamstring injury, overwhelmed in the second half with their quarterbacks, again, starting in a 28-7 loss. All right, well, this is a day for my husband and all of you police officers, firefighters, paramedics, EMTs. Today's your day. It is National First Responders Day. Do me a favor. We should do this on a regular basis, of course, but thank our police officers and firefighters for everything that they do. Also, Internal Medicine Day. And, oh, yummy, it is National Chocolate Day. Okay, giving you a reason to say, well, I have to eat it after all because it is today for me to eat chocolate. All right, well, that's it. That's how we get you up to date and some things that I think you want to talk about, maybe to your family and friends. And again, not all the death and destruction in life that many of you woke up to with news. So take those stories and spread them along. So again, if you're just tuning in this morning, good morning to you. Feel free to share this show with all of your friends and followers, and we're going to help this today. Mindset training. We'll discuss that with Lauren Ashleigh Whitaker with Sea Change Health and Wellness when we return.
Thankful to Monica for having me on the show here today. I just love having the opportunity to try and help other people. There are a lot of people in my life that were there for me in my time of need, and that was important for me today to talk to Monica about that. You know, you can get low and then work yourself back up to where you want to be, and people around you can help you do that. Surround yourself with the right people. That's what Monica tries to do here with this show. In fact, I know that's what she wants to do, is she wants people that are like-minded to help each other, to point each other in the right direction, to lift each other up, not put each other down. It was amazing for me to sit in here and talk with Monica, and hopefully it helps somebody along the way. I know that every show that she puts on is fantastic. It's worth your while to be tuning in every single day. Don't worry about some of the negativity around the world, whether it's on TV and this, that, the other. Tune in here to Monica and let her tell her story as well as her guests tell their story. There's always something that you can get from somebody else. And if you pick up just one little thing that helps you, that makes this a success. And that is why I'm here with Monica today.
Well, again, good morning to you if you're just tuning in. If not, thank you so much for tuning in right on time. I love all of you that grab your coffee and tea, and it's just that habit, right? You better be there at 7 o'clock, Monica. I'm ready for you. Well, ready for you as well. How's your mind? How's your mental health status? That is more important. You know, in the last 5 years, we've talked about mental health more than I've ever seen in my life. You agree with that? Let me know. Let me do a little real quick hello to everybody. I just looked over on Instagram. Diane said, wow, National Chocolate Day. Exactly. It's a good one, right? Rose, I so appreciate all of our officers and first responders. We can do a whole show on them, and we should, right? Jessica Stegman, good morning to you. Babs, good morning. Rose said, other than the cute cat and baby reels, I hate AI. Okay. Linda, good morning. Julie, good morning, family, she says. Sean, good morning to you. Julie Fabian, good morning, friends. And that is really what this has become, an incredible platform of all of you feeling like family. Kathleen just signed on. Good morning to you as well. So yes, I do hop around as much as I can to all of the platforms, which is Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, Rumble, LinkedIn, and by the way, we just added Twitch to the family. So welcome aboard to all of you that watch on Twitch. Is there a platform we're not on that you would like for us to be on? Let me know that. So you know I'm very big in all of my coaching that I've done over the years to take care of this. Again, some of you, it is your worst enemy. Others, it's your best friend, but the road does this, right? And the roller coaster wheel, and it's like, oh my gosh, now I'm beating myself up. So how is your self-love also? How do you talk to yourself? That language that you have. Well, today we're going to handle your mental side, and I do want you to grab the men. So if you think that we don't handle the guys when it comes to health, because you heard yesterday talking about menopause, and guys are like, I'm out. Well, today we are going to talk about you, and actually, how do we get you to talk about your feelings? Okay, we're going to discuss that with my guest, Lauren Ashleigh Whitaker. We're going to call her LA for the rest of the show. Nationally recognized therapist, mindset coach, speaker, and the owner of Sea Change Health and Wellness. And she works with high achievers, from athletes and entrepreneurs to working parents and teens, helping them move beyond their fear and their perfectionism. Ooh, how many times we've done shows on the dangers of perfectionism, to perform and live from passion, purpose, and presence. She has this grit and grace mindset that is her approach as she inspires others to show up wholeheartedly, because the greatest wins always begin where? Within. So if you want to know more information on Lauren, you can book or learn more by going to seachangehealthwellness.com. So that's SEA, seachangehealthwellness.com. And then at Sea Change Health, that you can follow her on Instagram, on socials, again, to get daily inspiration. No further ado. Welcome.
Hi, guys.
So all your friends, all your clients, they all call you LA?
Yes, they all call me LA. I say I'm a therapist from birth because my parents gave me 2 first names. It was complicated. We knew that, big things were going to happen for me from day one. Hyphenated
She's like, I'm
first
Hollywood.
Name. Yes. Yes.
So
LA.
Lauren Ashleigh is your full first
Whole
name?
first name.
Oh.
Yes.
So it's not like Monica Lynn, but that's my middle name.
No,
this is your whole first name.
Whole first name. It's Southern. We are not Southern, but it's like a Southern name.
I was just going to say, where are you from?
Nope. St. Louis.
You're from
good
here.
old St. Louis,
Isn't that funny?
and then Ashley is ASHLEIGH.
Yeah.
So let's add on to that complicated name.
I like it.
LA.
I'm MA, by the
Yeah.
way, and then I put a Q in it because once I got married, MAQ. But for all of you, welcome, LA. Feel free to welcome her to the show. Okay, so hold on. We'll go right into this. Jessica said, I agree. Mental health has really come to the forefront now more than ever before. It was something that used to be hidden. Oh, I like this. And now it's okay to speak about it. So we'll get into that right away. Do you agree with that we are talking about mental health more than ever?
More than ever. I mean, it's amazing how 15 years ago when I started in this field, it still was like encouraging people, and I felt like were just running from me.
Yep.
I was in it. Yes.
Oh, no, there's the therapist.
Yes, literally. And only at like your darkest hour would you come to me. And now I literally work with individuals that are the highest of the highest performers, because they are the ones even more that realize, like, at the end of the day, what's going to take me even further in life is my mind.
Right.
Like, if I can do everything right, I can get my nutrition right, I can get, my training right, I can do all these different things. But if my mind is telling me that I'm not enough,
Right.
doesn't matter.
Absolutely. And we talk about the whole balance of life, right? We've got to take care of all these parts equally to walk around balance. But I saw one of your videos on Instagram, and it was talking about if you are wanting to work out, ideally, you hire a personal trainer so that you don't hurt yourself.
Yes.
If you are overweight and just, can't get it together, you hire a nutritionist, dietitian to handle your nutrition and nourishment, right? But all of you think you can go at it alone, handling your mind.
Yeah.
And this is where you need someone like LA to take care of you. How long have you been doing this?
So I've been a therapist for 15 years. Before that, I even worked in undergrad and everything. But my private practice I've been in for 3 years.
3 years.
So before that, I actually was strictly a trauma therapist. So
wow.
I've seen it all. I always joke that at this point, anything that walks through my door, I know I can handle, which is great. But yeah, I mean, I think that people don't realize how much it impacts everything we do.
Sure.
And all the self-help books are great. And I love how many resources we have. I mean, we do have Instagram. We have, but again, just like if somebody's going to come to you for personal training or nutrition, at the end of the day, what actually makes you go even further is fine-tuning it to you.
Customizing it, yes. And the individual aspect of I've got you, as opposed, yes, like you said, people can go, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I can afford a personal trainer. I'll just do an app. And I'm like, okay, well, is an app making sure that you're not hurting yourself? Is an app actually saying you're doing that right, or that is completely wrong?
Which I would totally, I would piggyback off of this because I am the person who did the app, by the way, did
okay.
all the apps.
I love the honesty.
And injured myself
Oh.
in ways that I didn't even realize, actually. Just my form all of that was off. And so when I would weightlift, it would hurt.
Yeah.
And so then I finally, hired like a physical therapist and all these different people to help me out. And they're like, yeah, you're squeezing at the top wrong. And I was like, oh yeah, my app wasn't telling me that.
it can't talk back to you, folks. Again, these are the aha moments for you to understand. If you are just tuning in today, we're talking about mindset. And I don't know what it says yet, but I see a very long message here from one of our regular viewers. That is a man, Richard. Good morning to all. As some of you know, I suffered from migraine headaches. I've had a headache for the last 8 out of 10 days. The longevity of chronic pain can really make your mind play tricks on you. Ooh. Trying to get through the night is very hard sometimes. I couldn't do it without the power of prayer. My mind questions whether I'm awake or asleep sometimes. My mind doesn't work the way it's supposed to. I consider myself lucky because I don't deal with this every day, every week, every month. I do get a break from my mental health at times. It never gets easier. So my mental health is not very well today. And see, we say that there's a roller coaster, and he struggles. He's gone through a lot. In fact, he has an incredible place called Dude's Playground, which is for our veterans and really anybody that suffers from mental health issues.
Yeah.
But I want to have Richard and all of you men pay attention. I'll go ahead and switch since we already have one of our guys writing. Do you think it's gotten any better with the men in our lives of them opening up and sharing feelings? Because it was always very dangerous how much they would suppress it.
Yes, it was dangerous. And it was also just the norm that we were teaching men, right? Mm-hmm. That is literally what we taught men, to be stoic, to bottle it all in. And the only emotion that we actually accepted was anger, which also I kind of laugh at, because now when I talk to men a lot of times, I'm like, why do we think anger is actually the most helpful emotion? Like, a lot of times it scares people away, and we need those people in our life. Right? Like, yes, I get that when myself or your wife or whoever, cries, it also scares you away sometimes, but it also is softer. And so there is a vulnerability in actually sharing how we're feeling, and it can get to the root of what is actually going on.
But LA, here is the problem that has always existed, and I don't know where the breakthrough came, but it's a good thing, and I hope we have the momentum that continues to carry it forward. If you go back in generations, men were told if they showed emotion, it was weak.
Yes.
And they did not want to show that. Or God forbid, they actually started talking to the other men that, even if you're having a beer, you're at the gym together, or maybe you're biking, again, you're doing something active for your body, and you just happen to say something, it opens up the line of communication. I can guarantee you, your other friends have probably experienced it or will, and they'll thank you for talking about it. But I don't know, where do you think the shift happened that suddenly men are like, okay, now I don't care. I will talk, and I don't care if you think I'm weak.
I don't know if I can pinpoint one exact moment, but I will say I think it's just a cultural shift overall that we are leaning into that vulnerability. And again, you actually kind of mentioned it here, right? When they say something to a friend and that friend gets this release of like, oh my goodness, thank God it's like not just me. And then it allows both of them to not only grow closer together, but also have this space to grow, because they're not bottling up that emotion. Sorry, it's like a vicious cycle.
Right.
I keep thinking of Ted Lasso.
Oh, I love it.
That's actually what's coming to mind, which is so funny.
I hope you all have seen that series.
Yes, I don't know. I'm not saying that's the turning point, but I think that shows like that also just are something that we are encouraging our coaches and people of, like, that they have a demeanor in this world that they can show other people that, hey, I'm going to be different. I'm going to show up and I'm not just going to yell at you, right? But I'm going to say, like, you got this. I love the whole show of Ted Lasso. I just laughed because I was like, yes, this is exactly what we need. And it's why it worked.
It is. You know what? And I think you just brought up something that I haven't even thought about. And that is what we consume. What we watch in TV, what's on, if you go to the theater, if not, if you're doing it on Netflix, whatever, what you're reading, what's in front of us. Because if we go back just from the media standpoint, 10, 20, 30, 50 years ago, it absolutely showed us on TV, men are strong, men don't talk. Now you're seeing, and especially social media, more and more men with their own channels are opening up, and other guys are seeing that going, oh, this is okay for me. You've given me permission.
You've given me permission. You are strong. I respect you, right? Having emotions isn't weakness. having emotions is strength. It's actually being able to put those into words and say how you're feeling and not just yell at somebody and not say, oh, it's my way or the highway, right? I'm not telling men to be weak. I am saying step into your emotions, actually be able to verbalize them and categorize them. Because again, also, if you get mad at work, something happens at work, right? And then you come home and you yell at your family. Is that strength?
No.
Or is that displaced anger?
Absolutely.
Right?
And they're so questioning, what in the world did we do? And it ends up being, I'm so sorry. That anger shouldn't have been taken out on you. I was just so frustrated with X, Y, Z. And then it's like, whoever it is that anger is given to was, holy cow, that's been like a year ago. Oh, yeah, that's how long I haven't talked about it.
Yes. It's how much I have pushed it down and not discussed it. And if we actually do discuss it, then it ends right there. And we can start to move forward, which is strength again. Brene Brown, I love that she talks about vulnerability and courage and that the root of courage is heart.
Yes.
And so we always forget that. We think about like gladiators back in the day and only having strength, but they also had heart. They had a reason to fight for what they were fighting for. And again, that comes from emotion. So if we tell men that they can't have emotions, it's really backwards.
Backwards, absolutely.
It doesn't make sense.
Well, and we can think of the movie Braveheart, right? We put the word brave in front of that, and then you think of a strong man, and he's brave. He's a heart. He can open up and communicate. But don't just have it ideally just within the confines of your home. Let it go beyond that. Open the door and watch what happens. Again, if you're just tuning in today, mindset training. We're also going to talk about perfectionism. I think it's been about a year and a half or so. One of the most popular shows I did was the dangers of perfectionism. And I want to talk to Lauren about that. So again, Lauren Ashleigh Whitaker, LA, Sea Change, Health and Wellness. The name, by the way, where did it come from?
So it actually comes from Shakespeare's The Tempest poem about a man being thrown into the sea. And when he rises out of the water, he's something unique and beautiful. And so to me, when I read that, they talk about, again, being thrown into the sea. That's called a sea change.
Gotcha.
So I immediately gravitated towards that 10 years ago, and I bought the LLC.
Yeah, I love
and my husband literally still to this day jokes about like, it's so deep, nobody gets it. But to me, that is what therapy and mindset coaching is. I'm not changing you. I'm helping you become the best version of yourself.
Amen. I love that.
There's also symbolism with baptism and water and all the things. So
I love it. No, I absolutely love it. I love your logo. I love everything about it. For me, I just think there's so much clarity in water. And a lot of people are like, you make some really big decisions when you're by water. And I said, it's calmness.
It is.
Could it be tumultuous? We see what's happening right now with Hurricane Melissa. Yes. But you can see the eye of the storm. But if you believe, it will get calmer. The waters will calm again, right? That's life. I like it.
I was going to say, that is life. Water is life, right? It is the ups, the downs, the big waves, and then the calm and the beautiful.
There's always the calm after the storm. You have to believe in that. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. Perfectionism. We've got so much more to talk about. Actually, if there is anything that you're struggling with right now, or maybe somebody in your family or your friends, and they aren't speaking, you want to speak for them, or you want to ask a question for them, maybe to get them talking, bring it to LA. Bring it right now live. Or if you watch this later, just do a little hashtag replay for us, and I'll make sure that she sees it. All right? Don't go anywhere. Welcome to the mobile Monica version of the Real Monica Adams Show at my favorite restaurant. There's something about a coffee house that's just very warm and welcoming.
Gives you that sense of community.
What are you most proud of since you've opened it?
I cry easily. I'm thankful for everybody here.
You opened the door during the best Italian restaurant in the United States. here in St. Louis. You put us on the map. Does it scare you? You go through fear?
Terrifying.
So how do you get past the fear?
We find something to laugh about.
Absolutely. And a lot of you that don't want to be on social media because there's bullying. We're going to talk about that in just a second. And you're like, I'm so done. I'm exhausted with social media. That is why we are on YouTube and other platforms where you don't have to deal with all of that. You can just go and seek out at The Real Monica Adams, and that's how you find us on YouTube. Welcome back, by the way. Lauren Ashleigh Whitaker, again, with Sea Change Health and Wellness. You can call her LA. So, by the way, congratulations. Tell me about this New York, was it New York Weekly magazine?
Yes, New York Weekly magazine.
Top 30
Top 30.
nationally. When did that happen?
Oh gosh. Like at the end of last school year. So here I mark things by school years because I have a child. If you know, you know. Time just goes by them. But yeah, they reached out to me. And I honestly think it's because actually what we're talking about. So I am a female who works with a lot of male athletes. And I think it's just this shift that we are seeing of recognizing how important it is to incorporate our mind and to talk about it and to not make people feel vulnerable about it or to feel vulnerable about it, whichever way you see that word, you know, to have courage. And yeah, it was a blessing. I still don't really know how it happened, honestly.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
I'm glad. How did you start working with pro athletes and CEOs and top, again, influential people? How did that all come about?
So I always joke that that's like tooting my own horn to be like, oh, I'm, top tier. But I say it's like looking in a mirror because I feel like I'm a perfectionist. I was an athlete myself growing up.
What'd you play?
I actually danced.
Dance. I love that.
Yes, I was a dancer, and I got injured my senior year. I thought that was going to be my road going forward into college. That is what I had, that was just the journey I had written. And I split my pelvis and tore my inside abductor, a muscle away from the bone. Say that 10 times fast. And so it just changed the trajectory of my life. Now in the best way, I see that. But for a year, I was severely depressed. I didn't realize how much even just exercising, I was working out, but dancing, in the morning before school and after school, I didn't realize how much that impacted my overall health. And so this, again, just kind of, it turned into what it turned into today. I actually then worked in a rehab facility for the past 10 years before starting my practice. And I saw a lot of athletes that, again, had also had injuries, were given painkillers, then got addicted to them. And then we had to discover everything underneath.
Right.
Because they were just using that to cope.
Masking. Yes.
Yes. So I think it's just from there, everything kind of fell into place.
It's interesting. So some of you might know, but I did for a long, long time work hand in hand with Dr. Richard Lehman. We had a program called Connected Wellness. I sent a lot of my clients that I would personal train to him, and then he would, after surgery or to prevent surgery, send them to me. We did this for many, many, many years. In our discussions together, I started talking about the mind, and he's like, Monica, I think you're onto something here. And I said, well, I see it by my first responder husband.
Yeah.
And how dangerous it is. They have such high levels of addiction, suicide, divorce because of what we're talking about today, not talking about it. And I mean, goodness, what they see, we can't even imagine. And they come home, and ideally, you come home after a long, exhausting day and you're like, I just don't want to talk about work, right? They don't want to talk about work, and they don't want to talk it to you because you don't understand. You didn't see it.
100%.
I've told him today, by the way, is National First Responder Day. So on this day and every day here forward, it is, let's just try to see if we can get them to talk a little bit more, not force it out of them, because if they're not ready, they're not ready, but important. So them, men, all of you, we're trying to get you to talk more. Excuse me. Phil just wrote amazing. I don't know what part of it. Oh yeah. Okay. He said, I cannot stand bullies. We're going to get into that as well. I mentioned the aspect of how it's escalated. Because when I was in grade school, I saw it around me. I was bullied a little bit in my life, not as much as I see with some, but it was in person.
Yeah.
Now it's online. Now it's social media and the ones behind the keyboards that think they have strength and they can say whatever they want to say. You worked with a lot of teenagers as well.
Yeah.
I'm worried, and we have this line, by the way, we're going to put up for you. I'm worried about the suicide numbers that we see in children. So if right now you're watching and you're struggling, 988, Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, please know that someone is there to help you and to bring you out of it. But with teenagers and even younger, that's what scared me was, oh my gosh, we've got to take care of them. We have to take care of everybody around us, but these kids and how they're bullying. So did you see a lot of that when you worked with your teenagers?
Yes. So I actually worked, my first job out of grad school was working in suicide. I worked for Chad's Coalition.
Wow.
And I will say, yes, it's the bullying online. I will agree with that. And there's aspects of that, especially I feel like things like Snapchat.
Because it disappears.
Yes, but also kids just need to be educated more on it. So there was a lot of education we were constantly doing with our teenagers, especially in groups and things, just about how it's not always private. People can still screenshot things. We just don't think about that. And we're putting this piece of technology into middle schoolers or sometimes younger, their hands, and they're not ready for it.
Right.
And that's why we all keep saying that. And again, I'm a parent. I only have a 7-year-old, so I haven't had this battle yet. I know that one day it will come and he will beg me for a piece of, social media, a phone. But if you can do everything you can do to not have your child not have this, and then also if they do have it, it's educating them, right? It's like, hey, look, I know you think this is private. It's not. People can screenshot it. People can take it out of context. I will also say YouTube. YouTube was a huge factor. And not to say anything bad against you, because there's some amazing things on YouTube. Sure. And again, kids don't know how to know like what's good, what's bad yet. And we walk away a lot of times. And then there's these things in between. And there was like a doll back then that like would tell kids things. And one of them was like a suicide plan.
Well, the problem is, and again, you're giving them a lot of responsibility at such a young age, and just you're using it some of you using it as a babysitter. Here, I don't want to deal with the kid, so here, I'll give you a tablet, I'll give you a phone. Yeah. Here's the computer, and you don't have any parental controls on it, which is very, very scary. We just talked about AI, by the way, and jobs being lost, which is what I saw a couple years ago. There's some great things about it, but there's others. There's still so much unknown in it. We don't even know what we are seeing if it's real anymore. And we talk about deep fakes. There's so much out there. Does it scare you?
It does scare me. Only because like I literally think a new movie's coming out and I'm like, this is all fake.
I thought there was another Pretty Woman.
Yes. I literally was like, and then I have to be like looking it up somewhere else and that's backing it up. It's not even real. So if I can't even discern a movie, yes, and that's where I all the teenagers I work with, they always say like, you're right. I dealt with bullying in my day. I did. Yeah. But I didn't have any of this. All I had was AOL dial-up, and that in itself you can copy and paste and people could take things out of context. Sure. And that was awful for me.
Sure.
So again, this is where a lot of times I'm like, it's okay to get off social media. It's okay to know that this isn't real. Also, there has to be a discussion about why do we think people are saying rude things or hurtful things? And at the end of the day, it's usually because they're hurting. Hurt people hurt people.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And so I know in the moment, when they're saying something mean to you, it doesn't like feel that great to be like, oh, well, it's okay.
Right.
Johnny said that because hurt people hurt people. But it really is the truth, right? Because I feel like I'm pretty confident and secure in myself now and love myself. So there's no reason for me to say anything about anyone.
It's growth though, LA. If we I love where I am today as a woman, but if I look back, and we always say, if I could tell my 15-year-old self, my 25, my 35, right? If I could go into that, give that information, that empowerment to our young girls and young boys. I know it's hard. They're in awkward stages. They believe everything. They like this guy. They like this girl. Why why are they saying this about me? It's hard, but we've got to get them to talk. Just like we're talking about men and first responders, we got to get those kids to talk. So a lot of it, I'm going to say, because you have a beautiful family, by the way. We'll look at some of these pictures as we talk about this. I have always been very big on this next statement. If you are blessed, by the way, and I say that because I was not blessed, if you were blessed to be a parent, please be involved in your kid's life. And when they come home, have dinner at the table. I am so big on bringing the family unit back, and that is where the discussions take place. You'll never find out what's going on in their life if you just let them come home, run up to their room, again, throw them on a phone or a tablet and not have communication. You agree with this?
I would totally agree. I agree at the table. I also will agree in the car.
In the car. Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Or something that distracts them. A lot of times with like my teenage boys, it's just shooting hoops, right? Just get out there with them. I'm not saying you have to be that great at it. I am not that great at shooting hoops. Trust me.
But you're there in the space.
It's there. And it's just trying, right? Sometimes I'm just the person that's catching the ball and throwing it back to them, right? But again, it's just being there and being open. And a lot of times it's when they don't realize they're talking that they're talking, if that makes sense.
Oh, it absolutely makes sense. Yep, I love it. Again, LA, Lauren Ashleigh Whitaker. You can find her at Sea Change Health, at Sea Change Health on Instagram. Is that probably your most active social media? Okay.
Instagram's definitely where I'm at. Yes. And it connects to Facebook, but
more active
I'm more active on Instagram.
And so there's all of her information, by the way. And if you want to, again, reach out to have her help you, you can go to her website as well. And don't try to do this alone. That's probably one of the most dangerous things. Is that you think, I got this. I don't need to talk to anybody. I got this. And then you wonder, why am I spiraling? Let's see. Richard, I definitely have a suicide plan. Oh, let me go to this. I've changed it a few times over the years, but I always have a plan. I don't know if that's normal for someone like me, and I really don't care. But you have a plan. That's huge. You have a plan in place of saying, no, I'm going to turn to someone. I'm not going to do this. Ginny and Tanachi, Chad's story brought so much awareness as a parent from Oakville. It was so close to home. Chad's Coalition is a great resource.
Yes, Chad's Coalition is a great resource. They have a lot of resources in schools and to reach out to. I don't believe they have counselors on site anymore. I was one of their counselors on site. But they do have so many other resources to connect you with. So
I love that. And then let's see. Yes, and no phones during family meal time.
Yeah.
Sherry, we have a family game night. We have a lot of real talk during this time.
I love family game nights. I'm a family game night
What's
person.
your favorite family game that you all play?
I don't know. It's usually whatever my son wants to play right now. But
I like that. Well, look at you saying, okay, you get to pick.
Yes.
Right?
Twister, Candyland. I'm going for
Twister's still around. I love it.
Anything but Monopoly. How about
right?
that?
Agree. That just makes people angry. My brother, that's so funny you brought that up. We used to play that when I was a kid, and then my brother would get mad and he would just flip the game up in the air. Okay, game's over, I win.
Yes.
It's like, this never ends well.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to get into perfectionism. Let me take a break. Again, LA, if you have any questions, any comments, I love those that are coming in. And if you are rushing off, again, I know all of you busy moms and dads heading off to work, getting the kids to school. You can take this with you. Please don't look at it while you're driving, but set it down and listen, or maybe put your earbud in, just one. Again, keep aware with if you're going out for a walk or a run. I learned that from someone who was in a really serious accident. Don't put them both in. Have situational awareness for you in one ear, and then listen to a great podcast or music, whatever you want, in the other one. If not, come back to this show. It's the beauty of streaming, and then share this with others that might be hurting, and maybe they just need to hear this show to open up. Okay, don't go anywhere. More with LA when we return.
So let's call this one the dance lesson. So when my husband and I were getting ready to get married, we decided to take dance lessons. And of course, both of us are competitive and both of us think that we're doing it right. So in the process of this, we were telling each other what the other person was doing wrong. Our dance instructor actually came over and told us both that we weren't allowed to talk anymore. And if we did, she was going to get tape to put over our mouths. But instead, we had to focus on ourselves, our own body movement, our own posture adjustments. And with that, it would actually help the other person focus on themselves. And we would then eventually dance together. And it worked. So this has become a huge metaphor for a lot of my couple sessions or individual sessions when I talk about being in a partnership. A partnership is just like this dance. When we actually focus on ourselves and don't harp on our other person, they tend to then focus on themselves because they see how we're thriving and how well we're doing, and they want to keep up with us. They want to level up to us. But if we're just picking on somebody, they automatically shut down and want to fight back and don't want to move with us. So learn to dance together. It'll flow a lot better.
I was just on the Real Monica Adams show, and it was really a good experience for me. When I walked in, the building is just peaceful. The environment is beautiful here. Monica really made me feel welcome.
The Monica Adams show allows people to be themselves. It's really important to share kindness, to be real, to offer stories and things that will give people hope and a reason to smile.
Rather than waking up aggravated, disappointed, and wondering, where's this earth going, choose to wake up with something that'll put your mind and your heart in the right direction. Start with Monica.
And welcome back to the show. Again, if you're just tuning in, be sure to go back and listen to the entire show. You can watch from here forward, but I love the beauty of streaming, so you can go back. We'll get to some of your comments. I wrote this down, and I want this to really hopefully resonate with you. So today we're going deep. We're talking about fear and anxiety and perfectionism and bullying, getting men to talk, not surface level wellness, not cliches, but the real emotional work that it takes to heal and to grow. And as I said that, I just got chills. Again, my guest today, LA, Lauren Ashleigh Whitaker, founder of Sea Change Health and Wellness, here to help you take your power back and for you to own it and have the best version of your life possible. But again, it's from your thoughts. Fear does not always seem like it's real, that it's there, that it's yours. Sometimes you're just screaming and you're wondering, where's it coming from? Where's that anxiety? Sometimes it's whispers, by the way, wait until it's perfect, right? So fear doesn't always scream, and sometimes it whispers, wait until it's perfect. And that's where I want to go next, into perfectionism and the dangers of it. And before we do that, someone said, I love Ted Lasso. And what, LA, did you just tell me it's coming back?
I think, again,
she's like, I don't know if it's AI.
It's fake AI. It's scaring me. I don't know what's what anymore. But I heard he's coming back and teaching or coaching a girls' soccer team.
I hope
girls'
this is
football
true.
team.
I hope this is true. Anybody else? Did you hear that as well? Richard said, thank you very much. And because having support is so important.
So important.
Absolutely. And then, okay, this is a good one. Rose said, welcome, LA. Do you see a lot of people's mental health get affected because of physical pain? Just like Richard and family members of friends and myself, there are days, again, the pain shuts us down mentally as well as physically, steals my happiness. So that's a very powerful statement.
Oh, that breaks my heart for you, honestly. I'd say yes. And this has been part of my own journey. I have this on my social media, so some of you guys do know this who follow me. I battled endometriosis for almost my whole life, but really bad for 5 years. I now am in remission from it. Of course, it can always come back, but it was debilitating. And so I understand what you're saying. There are days where it literally feels like you can't do anything, and it clouds your mind. It makes you exhausted. All of those things. I will also say having a positive mindset is so important. I went through many misdiagnoses, and I will say the negativity that some of those doctors brought me and the things they said to me really did make me realize how messed up the medical system can be. I literally actually had a doctor tell me it's all in my head.
Wow, really?
Yes.
See, and we say this a lot. We do a lot of medical shows, and it's like, if you are dismissed, fire that doctor and get a new one.
Correct. And it's hard though. Like, I'm somebody who literally has been an advocate for so many people. And then it comes to yourself, and sometimes you're like, well, you're supposed to be the expert here, so maybe I should listen to you. I will also say this is where talking to your family, your friends, a therapist, anybody can help you, because they can also help you rationalize, be like, hold on, wait a second, repeat that again.
Right.
I don't think that that person is acting in your best interest. It is okay to stand up for yourself. I remember calling my sister after that doctor's appointment. I'm like in tears as they told me it's all in my head. And at first I'm like, is it? And then as I'm talking out loud,
questioning it.
I'm talking out loud to her, and I'm like, I am a therapist. I know this isn't in my head. Like, I know it's physically in my body. And if I'm questioning that, and I've done all the work and I continue to do the work with my mind, I'm like, that is so messed up that they're putting these words into the universe for probably so many people.
Right.
So again, my heart goes out to you, because I do feel like there is such a struggle, but it's also okay to acknowledge that pain, and then it's practicing gratitude. And I know that sounds, oh my goodness, so silly sometimes when you are in pain. But I always say that doesn't mean minimizing things that you are going through. Because if you're lying to yourself, that's actually the reverse of what we're supposed to be doing. It's acknowledging, like, I am going through this, I am in pain, and yet, like, I still have these blessings in my life. I still have these things going on.
Well, and we talked about it in the beginning, that Rose and anybody else that's going through the physical pain, that you then try to lean in on the other parts that maybe are working for you. Maybe your mind is in a good place. Maybe the physical's not. Maybe your spirit's in a good place. Maybe you're leaning in on your faith, and you have to let those rise up while the other one is faltering. It's hard, you had said, to try to have a positive mindset when it's hit after hit after hit. This trauma is happening, or I don't feel my best. At the same time, and again, I'm going to use women. Women are suppressing it, even though we're saying that men should be talking. Women do talk, but they also try to take care of everyone else before they take care of themselves.
Yes, and then the resentment builds.
Exactly. Well, let's go into it. Again, keep the comments coming in. I'll get to more of them for you, but let's go to this. Perfectionism. It is one of the most dangerous things. And if we could just tell everybody, you'll never get there, you'll never be perfect, it would be easy. But how do we break the perfectionism mindset?
I mean, I will say, I'm going to just give you guys a couple books. Well, two, actually. The Gifts of Imperfection by Brené Brown.
The Gifts of Imperfection.
Yes.
Okay.
One of the best books. It's not that long. It's also great on Audible.
Audio. Okay.
So, is that the word we're using? Yes, Audible. I'm
Yep.
like, I used to say books on tape. So I was
Books
like
on
making
tape.
sure.
I know, right?
Audible.
People are like, what's tape?
Yeah. There's
What's
no
tape, Mom?
Yes. So it's a great book. It literally changed my life. That's who I actually get my mindset training through, is Brené Brown. One of the biggest things is that we will never be perfect, because perfect isn't, the only person that can be perfect is God. And that's the other that's the other book I'm going to give you, is the Bible.
Oh, I love it.
Um,
And it's amazing how many people are going and purchasing Bibles for the first time, or opening those Bibles again after many, many years of having them closed
And it's
blowing the dust off of it.
Yes. And I'd say, like, invest in a good one. Sometimes you need one that has, like, little explanations on the side. I have like 3 or 4 now, because I
Love it.
needed to, like, figure out what my style was, and I needed some explanation on the side, and I needed a little bit more understanding. So I have a few different ones.
I love
but one of the things that it does say there is that the only person that can be perfect is Jesus, is God. Like, so that gave me a lot of grace in itself. But I will also say, it is just doing the work to realize, like, it's not just trying to achieve more and more and more.
Right.
Because that isn't the point of life. Yes, it is working hard for something, but we a lot of times are minimizing all the things that come along the way, and so we're not even enjoying ourselves. And I'll be honest, perfectionism is just armor.
It is. Because honestly, you see people that are fighting and fighting and fighting to get it, and if you really got them to talk, there's a lot of insecurities inside of them, right? You look at them and go, "Oh my gosh, they're so perfect." No, they're not. If you really, really just cracked them open, they would start to be honest. Honesty, obviously, goes very, very far. More of you that would be raw. Zach, by the way, thanks for grabbing that. This is the book she was talking about, and I didn't get a chance to see. Gabriel probably dropped it in for you as well. Many times, my guests will mention books, and then you're like, wait, I'm driving, or what was that? There it is. Brene Brown, The Gifts of Imperfection. I love that. So if we can just get all of you to understand today, you'll never be perfect. Breathe. Oh,
Breathe.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I've been released.
And it's so hard. Trust me. I feel like I did 10 years of my own work on this. And one of the most beautiful things that she says in that book that just allowed me to breathe, I think, is she says, like, I had to acknowledge that at the end of the day, I did all that I could. And like to take that breath and say, I can do more tomorrow. But it's just this hamster wheel. It's like always running, right? Like she also says, I am worthy of love and belonging, not if and not when.
I am worthy of love and belonging. Yes, because you're seeing it. It's the visualization of this is happening, not maybe one day, if it does. Am I worthy of it?
Yeah, I'm not worthy of love and belonging if I do this. I'm not like, I am worthy of love and belonging right now as I am, perfectly imperfect.
And always. And
Yes.
from here forward.
Yes, and I hope you all know that.
Yes.
Because if people aren't loving you like the way you are, it's time to get rid of them.
Yep. Move on. Move on. Bye-bye. Okay, I want you to be heard. Again, one more time, Zach, if you can put on the screen for us how everyone can find LA. So Lauren Ashleigh Whitaker, again, with C Change Health and Wellness. So it's cchangehealthwellness.com. And again, she is a therapist, a life and mindset coach. I didn't even mention this. You are a yoga, or were. You got certified in yoga also?
I'm certified in yoga.
Do you still teach?
I do not teach.
Okay.
I don't love teaching the actual classes.
But
so
you do it for yourself?
I do it for myself. I love yoga in general. The mind-body connection is amazing. And then
Agreed.
with my clients, I just have simple like moves I show them for that mind-body connection and that breath work.
It
is
is
so important.
It's huge. It's the relaxation of it. And I like to see more, again, we're going to go back to the guys. I like seeing more men doing it, by the way.
Oh, yes. At KU, they had their whole basketball team that would come into the classes that I would take.
See, it's huge. I remember watching, I think it was a bunch of firefighters or police officers, and they're doing that, and they're like, this is stupid. This is a girl thing. And then all of a sudden they're like, I can't do this. What's wrong? And then there's some athletes that I used to work with that were professional football players here in town, and we got them to do Pilates, and they're like, I'm in here with women that are 30, 40, 50, 60. Oh, I'm going to, come on, puff up my chest,
Yeah.
right? I'm a pro athlete. And then all of a sudden their legs are shaking and quaking.
Yes.
Like, what's wrong with me? I'm like, it's the intrinsic muscles you don't
Yes,
use.
the micro twitch muscles, the little ones that you didn't know you had.
Exactly.
100%. All the Cardinals baseball team also does it. So if there's any indication, go do
Yes.
yoga. Try something different.
It'll empower you, right?
P90X does yoga. Do you remember that one? That one
Tony
was so
Horton
hard.
Tony Horton's a good friend of ours, by the way. He's been on the show a handful of times. I love the fact that he has changed the way he trains, and then everybody else that follows him is like, wow, this guy's a badass. Look at him. Oh, he's doing yoga. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
I'll do yoga.
Yes.
I'm telling you, it's what we consume.
Yes.
Okay, it's healing with, okay. Yes, can't wait for perfectionism talk. Well, let me know if you want us to go a little bit deeper into this. She says, my husband finally just opened his Bible the first time ever, right?
Oh, I love that.
Absolutely. Okay. Oh, Phil says Ted Lasso is coming back.
Yes.
All right. I
Not
love
an
that.
AI thing.
Gabriel, I love Monopoly. No, I love Monopoly. It's so fun to take everyone's money. Filming began in July of, oh, that's right. You are correct. I did hear that. Filming is in Kansas City.
Oh,
Yes.
that's awesome.
Yes, that's why I was like, I need to go to Kansas City and see if we can catch them.
yes.
Filming, you're right. Phil, thank you so much for saying that. I forgot about that. Filming began in July of 2025 in Kansas City. Amen to you, Richard. Practicing gratitude is huge for me when I'm going through something,
Yes.
Gabriel says. You missed the name of the first book. We put it up on the screen for you, so we'll leave it up there for you one more time. Brene Brown, The Gifts of Imperfection. The second is the Bible. And I love the fact that you probably just told a lot of people, it's not one size fits all. It's not just one Bible for everybody. You find the one that works for you and maybe helps you with, I can't understand this one. Sherry, if you can't see that you are both Clark Kent and Superman, all you will ever be is a skinny guy in fancy tights. She said she read that somewhere.
Oh, I love that.
Right? I like that.
That's a really good quote.
Amen to that, Phil says. Okay, so controlling our mindset. I know it can be very difficult for many people. The anger, the resentment, the jealousy that will creep up. I mean, you are human after all. it's okay, but just not letting those things fester. So find someone. Someone loves you. There are many people that do, but you might feel like you're all alone. People are there for you. Lean in on them. What about the fear of failure? You work with a lot of, again, athletes and high-end professionals. How often do they come to you and pull off the armor and say, I'm so fearful of failing?
Oh, I think everyone's fearful of failing. I don't think you have to be a high-end athlete. I think high schoolers come to me and say that. And it's so interesting because if I go back and get my doctorate, I always make a joke. I'm like, I want to know where we start thinking it's not okay to fail. And I think it's around middle school, honestly. Something starts to really click in with us and we think we cannot fail anymore. But I even start to see it in my 7-year-old. And as I was watching him one day, I realized as he went to do like the monkey bars that when he was younger, right? So he'd like grab for one and he'd fall and he'd get up and try again. And I was cheering him on every step of the way, right? Like he'd go for one and then he'd fall.
You've got
and
this.
Then,
You've got this.
Yes. It took him about a year, right? To actually get all the steps down, to learn how to swing his body correctly, to spit on his hands, get some momentum, all these things, right? Every step of the way I was cheering him on. I never looked at it as failure. I looked at it as trying. As kids, we're always failing because everything we're doing, we're learning. And then I don't know where it happens. Do we think by middle school, it's like we've learned everything and so everything should be perfect and like, that's it? We haven't even learned to drive yet. Like, that's scary.
Absolutely.
So again, it's like once we start like going back to the roots of like, why aren't we learning? Like in order to learn, we're going to have to fail.
Well, and again, we talk about the most successful people. We read books about them. We watch movies on them. And you want to tune in more to see how someone overcame the failure than someone who's just gifted something and has this easy life. We all want the stories of hope.
I'm only laughing. So I'm like, if something's like comes easy to me or is gifted to me, I'm like, no, I'm going to walk away. That seems
Give me something harder.
Yeah. Like, she's really going to drop on that one. Like, I'm a little more skeptical even. Like, I need all the failure, I feel like. Because it's also where you learn the most.
Absolutely.
Either you're learning or you're dying. It's that simple to me.
Yeah. That's very powerful to say. It's very true. So if you haven't failed, it's coming for you, by the way. And if you've walked this life and have always had success, well, it's not a good thing because, again, we learn from the failure and then we get back up, brush ourselves off, and then we may fail again. I love to watch that. I've gone through many aspects of that in sports, in relationships, in career, and then you're like, nope, I got this. But again, it's belief in oneself. It's self-talk.
Correct. I would also say, again, it's this mindset shift of who you are, that you are not defined by what you achieve. Right? And that's actually the issue that usually is happening is like, I am only my last win. I am only, this position in life or, I'm only CEO, what I'm defined by. And I'm like, but what else are you?
Well, it's also that word that you just put in front of it. So a lot of the people that I work with, I say, we've got to erase only. You are a.
Yes, you are. And there's so many other things that came with it, right? Okay, so for my athletes, it's like, I am a baseball player. Okay, but what makes you a baseball player, right? It's hard work, it's dedication, it's teamwork, it's leadership, it's...
And how do you apply all of those to regular life, right?
Any other part of it, yes.
The problem, and this is why I was talking about Dr. Lehman earlier. So when I said something about mindset to him, he came back and said, we're onto something here. Like I said, I would love to take the stage with really powerful people that work on this side of it to give everyone out there in the audience a chance to walk away going, I can breathe again. Because it's okay that I can take the armor off, that I can be the CEO and then lose that job and not feel like I'm nothing, or to be the professional athlete and to have an injury like you did with dance, right?
Yeah.
So she was depressed. I mean, she went through that of, well, why, right? You do the whole why me. And then all of a sudden, look how this beautiful life formed. It is something, again, we're very faith-based women. God has a greater plan. We just don't see the plan in the moment.
He has the whole field. We're only looking at one play.
And so the thing with athletes was, or if it's retiring, well, now what do I do? Because many of them, they're retiring in their 30s. I mean, that's young in their 30s, or maybe if they're still playing, they're considered an old man in their 40s.
Yeah.
They start getting told that, labels. Then they have all the rest of this life, hopefully 30, 40, 50 years to come. And then it's, well, now what do I do? this is my life. No, it was an extension of you. You have so much more to give.
This is going to take you to your next step. You find your next passion and purpose. So my dad actually retired from Edward Jones a year ago now, and he's always wanted to be a pilot. And so he finished up his pilot's license, and he now flies a plane. Like, that's one of my stories. I'm just like, he gets to do, like, literally, I'm
At
like,
what age did that happen? I want you all to hear this.
No, here's me with the ages. I'm terrible with ages. 61.
He got his pilot license
Yes.
at that age?
Yes.
Okay, so how many times do we say age is just a number? And if you still have something burning inside of you that you want to do it. Attack it. Make it happen. No one else is going to make it
Dad,
happen.
can you come to this grandparents' day? He's like, oh no, I actually have plans. Like, I'm like, you're retired. He's like, yeah, I'm staying busy. And I'm like, good for you. Good for you, man.
Way to go, Dad. What's
Yeah.
your dad's name?
His name's Phil.
Phil,
Owen.
Phil, I hope you see this. Shout out to you. You're inspiring others to do the same.
He is, literally.
I love this. Okay, let's see. Catherine Breville. LA is the absolute best. What a great surprise. Is this
Hi,
a friend of
Catherine.
yours?
Yes.
I love it. Gabriel said the way the school system is set up, it heavily penalizes failure and does not allow children to understand that failure is a step on the journey to success and just a learning tool.
I'd agree with you. And I think that we are trying to change our school systems. I think there's a lot of pushback. You know, we are trying to put more social emotional learning into schools. I'm not obviously in the school district.
Right.
But I also think then there's people like myself who works with a lot of teenagers, and we talk about this and how it is part of the journey.
Sure.
And it's also talking to the parents, right? At the end of the day, I think as parents, we push our kids to, of course, get the best grades that they can. But if they really feel like this paper was amazing and you did too, and they don't get the A, they get the B.
Yep.
It is what it is. It's just, well, I think it was great. You know, it's that simple.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point. Sherry says failure is a fantastic way to learn. Yes, we learn from that. And again, you really have to go through it. If you've never gone through failure, you've got a lot to learn in life. Absolutely. LA can't wait to read that book. There we go. So again, if you have any questions or comments and you weren't able to comment while we were live, please shoot me an email if you have any questions for her. Better yet, go directly to her. Go to her Instagram page for inspiration. You can go directly to her if you want to work with her. Again, it's See Change. That is the name of her business, See Change Health and Wellness. I'm going to take our final break, and then I just want you to, again, kind of as we do a recap, controlling the mindset, having someone work hand in hand with you. Again, fear, how it can take over sometimes leads to the perfection mentality that we're trying to break you from. The fear of failure, but understand that you can learn from that. Fail and watch just the amazing growth within you. Have gratitude for yourself. That's very important. Again, that self-talk that we're talking about, breaking the negative mindset talk to positive, looking yourself in the mirror, believing those words, by the way. Believe those words.
Yes.
Okay, so at the end of every show, and I know you'll love this because you are faith-based like myself, we do a devotional, and it is 100 Days to Freedom books. They're by Stephen Arterburn.
Okay.
So you get to pick, and it's for you and for all that are watching that you think really fits with what we've been talking about today. So 100 Days to Freedom from Fear and Anxiety. That's one book by itself.
Okay.
Depression, anger, shame, or overeating. Those are the 5 books.
Ooh. Well, let's go the first one, the fear.
Fear and anxiety?
Yeah.
It's the one that almost everybody chooses. So we're almost through with that one, by the way, and then we won't be able to give it as an option anymore. So I believe we're on day 89 of 100 days to break you from the freedom of fear and anxiety. And we'll do that with LA when we return.
When you want to feel good, you work out at Crunch. You don't go here, because here feels bad. But here, we help you feel it. Feel strong. Feel rejuvenated.
Join Crunch Fitness today.
Well, welcome back. We are in the wrap up of the show. So if you're just tuning in, and I see a lot of you popping on, go back. And as soon as this is done, watch the entire show. You're going to love this. Again, we're helping with your mindset training today. One more time, seechangehealthwellness.com is the website for LA. Lauren Ashleigh Whitaker. See Change Health at See Change Health. Again, you can follow her on Instagram or maybe TikTok for daily inspiration. Again, St. Louis Magazine A-list top therapist, one of New York Weekly's top 30 women entrepreneurs to watch in 2025 and beyond. She's leading with clarity and courage and compassion. Again, a mom, a parent, wife, not being perfect, but being your best for them is also the importance. There's her beautiful family, by the way. So we're going to wrap up with a devotional. And when we went into the break, I asked LA, do you feel fear and anxiety? Do you feel shame? Are you sticking with fear and anxiety?
I think we should go shames because you had said that you were almost done with the other one. And I think everybody's afraid of shame.
Why?
Shame is just something that none of us want to feel. We all at times feel it. There is a shame spiral that we can go into. So really quick before she goes into this, I want to give you a little definition of guilt versus shame that was super helpful for me. So guilt is I did something bad, and shame is the feeling of I am bad. Okay, so if you would take a test and you would fail it, guilt would be I took the test, I failed it. Okay, what did I do that didn't work for me? You'd say like, I didn't study well, I stayed up all night, those types of things. Next time I will do this. I'll study longer. I'll ask the teacher for help, those types of things. Shame is I am bad. So then you go into the shame spiral.
And you stay there?
You usually stay there, right? Because you're not leaning into like, I'm not bad.
Right.
I just did something that I don't like. It didn't align with my values.
Yeah, it sounds like the guilt, you stay in it.
No, guilt
that's right. That's right. Guilt, you have.
Yeah.
Shame, you stay in it. Guilt, you have a plan of action.
I always joke that shame is the shame spiral in the bathtub. Like literally, that's usually where I feel mine. So TMI, but where it's like if you fail the test, then it's like, oh, I'm dumb. I'm so dumb. I'm never going to amount to anything. I'm never going to amount to anything. So I'm going to live in a cardboard box. Like, it's just like, it goes down very, very fast.
Right.
Unless you say to yourself, like, no, I just failed a test. Like at the end of the day, I can figure out what I want to do differently next time. And I can work on that.
I like that. Does that make sense to all of you? So yes, that guilt, that mindset talk that you have to have, sometimes it is with yourself, and hopefully it's more of the positive. Okay, so I failed the test. Right, I'm going to get right back up on the horse. I've got this. Shame, staying in it and never ever coming out of it, which is, by the way, we're meeting you wherever you are on your journey right now. And we are hoping that today we're taking you beyond that. And so you can feel this, by the way, LA. I told you we're on 89.
Yes.
This is 46. Some of them are in the 30s.
Because again, nobody wants to feel shame. I always say though, shame at the end of the day, if it's saying I am bad, I don't really know anybody that's bad. So let that shame go.
Well, we also have to watch when we're talking about how we change the language. When people say shame on that person or shame, it's like, well, we have to change that as well. We have to change how we're speaking to ourselves and to them.
I'd laugh at that person. I'd be like, what are we telling a dog
Exactly.
that? Shame on you.
Shame on you. Who did it?
Shame on who? Like, shame on you for saying that to me. So, yeah.
Let's see what Stephen has to say here, and then we'll wrap up, give you all the information again of how you can find LA. So it's called Your Next Step. Your word is a lamp to guide my feet and a light for my path. This is Psalm 119, verse 105. One of the most painful things in life is a stubbed toe. Okay, well, now we're going to the physical side. You're gliding happily through a room barefooted, and suddenly you're hopping on one foot, you're screaming, you're seeing stars. We've all been there. In that moment, no pain in the world can compare, but it will subside. The reason toes get stubbed is because people are not looking at what's right in front of them. They're looking farther down the path. Not in the moment. Maybe the reason shame entered your life is because you weren't paying enough attention to what was right in front of you. Maybe you were so focused on what you wanted to do in the future that you forgot to consider what you were doing in the present. That task that's right in front of you is the most essential. Yes, it's important to have goals and dreams. We talk a lot about that. But if you don't properly handle your current roles and responsibilities, you could easily disqualify yourself for something bigger that's coming later. Think about what LA went through was, well, I'm going to be a dancer. Wait. What do you mean this injury is going to take me out of the game? Well, what's coming? We go through the spiraling depression, anxiety, stress, fear, all of those things. And then this better life is ahead that God had planned for her. You know, there's other aspects, though, that I want you to think about. If you don't properly handle your current roles and responsibilities, you could easily disqualify yourself for something bigger later. So unplanned pregnancies, drug bust, drunk driving charges, adulterous relationships. Just a few situations often triggered by momentary lapses in judgment that spiral unchecked, producing very long-term consequences. So in today's verse, David reminds us that the Word of God is a light that shines on our path. The picture is of a torch that lights a person's next step, and it illuminates what's directly in front of them. No great accomplishment ever happens in one fell swoop. A dream is achieved by many single steps properly taken over a longer period of time. Your next step is always the most important. The enemy trying to get you off assignment. He wants to distract you with something that God is not emphasizing in your life so that you will miss what God wants to teach you in that moment. Think about that. Here's your prayer. Dear Lord, it's so hard for me to live in the moment when much of what I dream for seems farther down the road. Help me to communicate and concentrate more on today to make sure that my next step is a good one and I don't stub my toe. That's so painful. Oh, I hate that. So everybody, again, fear, one more time, as I mentioned, doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers. Do you listen to the whispers? Do you wait for the slap? Or do you wait for the gut punch? Like, I wish I had a warning. Well, we don't listen to the whispers sometimes. So why are you so afraid to fail? So this would be a good time for you to maybe listen to the show again, listen to what LA had to say, listen to our conversation, as well to write. I'm very big on journaling. So write things down and talk to yourself. And again, try to find yourself to that positive self-talk. That's what we're looking for. So if you've ever battled fear, if perfectionism has paralyzed you, if negative self-talk has been your loudest voice, your loudest, you're going to feel seen today. We're talking failure, fear of it. Gratitude is a healing tool, the emotional pressure that people carry silently. And yes, folks, even the courage it takes for men to finally speak their truth. And I'm hoping today that we get a lot of you to open up. Men, women, children, seniors alike. This is for all of you. So if you want to work with LA, again, go to her website, reach out to her, follow her on social media. Sea Change Health and Wellness is the name of the company. It's SEA, and there's all the information that you need. Action plans are so important, Jenny says. Absolutely. Irish Dan says, awesome. For all of you that, again, as I said, are just signing in, feel free to go back, watch it, then share this all over your platforms so that we can help heal the world. That is the greatest thing that we can do is pay it forward. All right, if you're in a great place and you've gotten there, it doesn't mean you're going to stay there, but if you're there, help others understand how you got there.
You will stay there. It's just your mindset, right? It's your mindset.
Yes, every day working on that mind.
Every day,
yes,
right? And
important.
knowing that we all fail.
Yep.
But it's just getting back up and learning from it. And what is this teaching me?
Absolutely.
It's the best college course ever. I always
right?
joke about that.
Hey, we learn so much more in our day-to-day lives. I'm not knocking education, but again, the things that we can learn and interpersonal skills and what is out here in life, it's those, to me, it's one of the greatest teachers. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
So she and I, by the way, we've known each other from our dear friend, Sherry Anderson, but we ran into each other at a fitness event. And there's someone you also work with. He and I are hoping to get this on the books in November. Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff Lavecchio.
So how did the two of you connect?
Oh man, how did we connect? Oh, okay. So he put out a call to like action. He wanted a mindset coach to work with his athletes.
Okay.
And I actually had a whole bunch of my friends and people that I knew reach out to him and say, hey, you should look into this girl, this woman.
That's woman. Whoa, man.
And I'm not saying that he wouldn't have given me a second look, but I do think that helped. And when we met, it was just,
I love it.
Literally on our first meeting, he's like, you're my person.
He's a good coach, by the way. I am not impressed. I've been in this field for a long, long time on the fitness side, and I'm not impressed with a lot of people. But when I went to this event, I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to do this one. Very good coach. And he was a former professional hockey player, right?
Yes, correct.
So he's going to be on the show very soon, coming up in November. Again, Gabriel's probably like, how did you say that? How do you spell it? Jeff Lavecchio. And I love what he said. If you go to Instagram, just start to type in Jeff Love, and he's the first one that'll come up. Probably the one and only Love.
Yes.
Richard said, great show. Marietta said, this is great. I love all of your guests. Thank you, Marietta. LA, you will, by the way, want to look into Marietta, the girl of prayer.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
Okay.
you will. You will. And for all of you, you want to get her books. The Girl of Prayer is incredible. Thank you, my friend. It was
Thank you.
a wonderful, wonderful show. This will turn in, by the way, to our audio podcast as well. I always pick one that I really connect with. And this is the one. I think it might even air this Thursday. I think we are actually on, I think we've caught up because we had a lot that were in advance. So if you want to hear this instead of watching and absorb it a whole nother way, 8 a.m. on Thursdays, we drop our audio podcast on all of the audio platforms. So you can share
love
that as
that.
well.
Thank you.
Thank you. And to all of you, thank you. Tomorrow is Wellness Wednesday. We'll be checking in with Angie Hess with spas and more, and we'll give you a little workout as well. We haven't had a workout for you in a while, so we'll do that for you. And that's all coming up tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. God bless you all. Remember, dream big. Please speak kindly to yourself. That's the greatest thing you can do to you. The greatest thing you can be, though, is kind. God bless you.